couple of months since I've done a video, so I don't feel that bad about it. This is going to be my video to do with my experience at London Film Comic Con 2018, where I had quite a lot of late announcements, which we will get on to later on. Those who know that I've been there know who I'm talking about. Don't post comments down below, because you know that just, people want to know. People say who knows, you know, so I always think that way. So yeah, I'm going to talk about my experiences with people that I've met. This will probably be a long video because of the photographs that I got, but I didn't get that many autographs apart from the diamond passes that I got, very much like last year whenever I met Benedict Cumberbatch and I was guaranteed his autograph and photograph. There was a couple I did here. There was only one other person, I believe, that I paid for an autograph for that I didn't have a diamond pass for, but I'll get on to that later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the photographs first of all, each day, and then once I get to somebody that I had a diamond pass for, I will talk to you about that. Now, the first person that I met was Tom Welling. I did have a diamond pass for him, which was number 2. So this basically means you're guaranteed your autograph, your photograph, your print, and your talk. I didn't go into any of the talks because I didn't have time. So they give you a print, which is like an A3 size. So that's what it looks like there. So I have 3 of these. Luckily I bought a poster tube for a lithograph to get signed. It didn't get signed, but these all fitted in that, so it was handy to make sure that they got home in one piece. So a lot of people, I think, maybe didn't have something to sign, or once they saw this wanted to get it signed. I know Simon was on the fence about one of the prints that he had, but I think that part there kind of put him off it. So yeah, so like I say, you know, like you had numerically, you know, like individually numbered. Number 2, so that meant that I was the second person to buy his diamond pass, and then on the other side is him looking a bit older. So my photograph with him was here. Just a nice man. So I also got an autograph from him, which I will show you now, which is here. Obviously I like getting comics signed, so I had to pick up a Smallville comic, and he just signed it. Chris, great meeting you, and then Tom Welling. So yeah, he was a nice man to meet. Just thanked him for doing the convention, just said enjoyed his portrayal as Clark, and just wished him all the best, that kind of thing. But yeah, just a very, very nice man. Very much like last year, I didn't have any bad experiences, to a point, which I'll get on to on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday. Should have been Friday, Saturday. You know what I'm talking about if you were there. So yeah, so that was that. My next photograph was with Nathalie Emmanuel, who is in Fast and Furious and is in Game of Thrones. So very nice lady, and yeah, like the photo experiences are very much go, you know, like next, go up, say hello, get your photo taken, say thanks, and leave. It's not a case of, people seem to think that you can queue up and then go and have an autograph session with them. No, that's not how it works. Although Peter Weller, he seemed to think that a photograph session meant autographs, because he went there, he went to his autograph table instead of his photograph table, and Robbie was able to get his print signed. One that I met was Matt Zimmerman and Shane Rimmer, the voice of Alan Tracy and Scott Tracy in Thunderbirds. He is a little bit more eccentric than Shane is. Shane's something like 83 or something like that. And, you know, these two are standing up, you know, like to get their photos done. Steven Seagal was sitting down for his photos. Steven Seagal, who had loads of security around him. Steven Seagal. Whether he can't kick or something anymore, I don't know, because he is a bit don't kill me, Seagal. I've got plenty of security outside, just watching the door. Okay, so next one we had was somebody that, whenever was announced, was like, should I meet him? And I was like, you know, I really think I might, which was Tom Baker. And just to meet him, because he was at London Film Fair, I think last month, and he was so popular, so they added him really late, just for the Friday, for a couple of hours. So I was really, really happy to get the 4th Doctor knocked off. Then next up, I treated Simon to a Jeff Jarrett photograph. So whenever you go up with somebody else, you get 2 photos, so you can get like a normal one, and then you can get like a kind of like a different pose if you wanted to do that. So that's the normal one that Simon and I got done. Really nice guy. He was selling Slapnuts t-shirts at his table, which made me laugh. And this is our funny one, which was us doing the strut, which I thought was class. I did get an autograph from Jeff Jarrett, and I got it on the King of the Mountain DVD, so it just says to Chris, King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, you know. So I wanted to get, there was a Slammiversary cover that had very much like Walk the Line. It was kind of Jarrett with a guitar on his back, and I really wanted to get that done, and I got it from Music Magpie, and whenever it came was Kurt Angle, and I can't get, especially Jeff Jarrett, I can't get him to sign the Kurt Angle thing, and vice versa. So got that. I had that already in my collection, so I thought that would be the better one to get signed. So that was all my photographs and autographs from the Friday. I did have some other stuff to pick up on a Friday. Martin Griffiths, who does, obviously these are all comic people, so he's an artist, and you've seen before, I've had like a He-Man print and a Lion-O print. I decided to get something else done, which was the Mark Ruffalo Hulk, which I thought was absolutely class. And just signed it down there to Chris, all the best, Martin Griffiths. So really nice man, and always just very talkative and very chatty. Always saying, you know, he never signs them now, because normally he would personalise them, and then he had somebody who for some reason didn't actually come to pick up their stuff, and I was like, why would you? He paid a deposit, but he never went and picked it up, and so that meant that if he had signed and personalised it to that person, then he couldn't sell it on, so he was able to sell it on and that kind of thing. So I then met Simon Furman, who did a lot of work in Transformers, so I got this exclusive Draw the World Together cover, which was signed to Chris, and then Simon Furman just here. And I also got this Infiltration one because it has Grimlock on the front. So yeah, as soon as I saw Grimlock, I was going to get that done. And he's just got here to Chris, Simon Furman. Speaking of Transformers, I did meet Liam Shalou, who, I don't know if I'm saying his surname right, who on Twitter was saying that he was taking commissions and it was £20, but you got like a blank comic variant done. So I thought, right, well, I was going to ask Martin Griffiths to do this, and then once I saw this, I was like, once I changed to Hulk, I was like, right, well, I'll get this done. So I got an Optimus Prime sketch, which is absolutely phenomenal. 20 quid this cost, £20. I couldn't believe it whenever I picked it up. I was like, wow, that's just, and I have a funny feeling he actually coloured in the one down here. I do have a blank of this somewhere, but I don't know if he's coloured that in or if it was like that. It looks to me like he's coloured it in, but I'm not sure. But I was so happy with that. And there's a picture which I'll put at the end. I'll put all these pictures at the end just to give you a better quality look at them, because obviously I've scanned them all in and everything, so I've got everything done then. So that's basically the Friday. Like I say, you know, like, it was just as well that we decided not to do as many autographs as we wanted to. The only one I kind of missed out on was Noel Clarke, and the reason why I missed out on that will become clear later on. And Saturday was a bit of a mess at certain stages, and yeah, so I'll go on. Speaking of Noel Clarke, he was my first photograph on Saturday, which is here. And he's wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt, and I said to him, I suppose I should say Cowabunga dude to you. And he went, Cowabunga man. And I think he liked my t-shirt because it was a Star Wars one as well. My next photograph was with Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor. So yeah, I really like that. The next day on the Sunday, his hair was like slicked back, so I'm really glad that I got on the Saturday with his hair being the Doctor hair. As I say. Right, so next up is Pearl Mackie, who plays Bill Potts in Doctor Who. So I had her #1 Diamond Pass, so that meant that obviously I was going to get the autograph, photograph, and the print. So on the back is Bill and the doctor. So that's my photo with her there. I just asked for a hug photo, which I quite like. I then also got the print, which is here. Although the woman giving out the print nearly gave me Natalie's one instead. I think it was maybe the hair that threw her off. Because I was like, why am I getting that one? And it's like, no, it's that one. I should have actually saged them and went for the other one, because the other one was nice. Not saying that one's not, but the other one was just as nice. Basically, whenever I met Pearl, I was saying that I was meant to meet you last year. I was meant to go to Philadelphia, but my father passed away, and my friend Millie picked up a autograph, and it said, to Chris, my condolences, keep your chin up. I said, I just wanted to thank you in person, that meant an awful lot to me. So I just wanted to say thank you, and for reinvigorating my love of Doctor Who, because I watched Capaldi's first, you know, a couple of episodes here and there with Jenna Coleman, and I wasn't really feeling it. I didn't really enjoy it. But with Pearl, it seemed to be a breath of fresh air. It seemed to me back then it was more Companion Who than Doctor Who. And then with Matt Lucas being into it, I was like, I don't understand why he's here, but I ended up liking him. And I have a funny feeling that's the way that Bradley Walsh is going to go with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. So I got this signed, which is, to Chris, lovely to finally meet you. And then Pearl Mackie. So this is I think this is a San Diego 2017 convention special. I did have one for Peter Capaldi, but I knew that he, you know, because I had a diamond pass for her, basically I paid like 20 quid extra or something like that to guarantee me the autograph, which meant that I wasn't running around and things like that. So that's why I got that done. Next up was one of the late announcements, which was Zachary Levi, who is in Chuck, or you may know him as the new superhero Shazam. Well, not new superhero, but the new upcoming movie. I kind of went for this photo because I thought, if I don't go for this photo and I like the film, I'm going to regret not meeting him. So I decided to go for it. He really lovely guy, and he seemed to take his time with people whenever he was signing. And he was a late announcement. He was there all 3 days, and he seemed to have a whale of a time. So I'm sure after Shazam and the popularity that that'll get, that he'll be back again. My next one was with Simon again. Simon and I seem to have an ongoing thing. I'll show you, well, I'll explain, well, I suppose I might as well show you this, which is Simon and I with Paul McGann. So Paul McGann was giving out hugs to people, and I said to Simon, because Simon loves his hug photos, and I went, do you want to hug him? And I'll just stand there as if to say, what the hell? I was like, yeah, sure. So we did that. Obviously we got a normal one first, and then we got this one. So we got that one, which I think's great, because you know, like, even the person taking it was laughing at that. So Simon and I seem to have a thing where we like to meet the old doctors. The only one we didn't meet together was Tom Baker, because obviously I think it was a bit more difficult to do two people that way as well. But his photo came out a lot better. Not that I'm not happy with my photo, but I'm glad that Simon got the photo that he did with Tom Baker. But I really like this photo, and Simon's always a good one to get photos with, because you always know that they're going to turn out well. Speaking of photos that kind of turn out well, who knows, that seemed to be an ongoing thing to do with the convention, hence why Robbie is doing this. Robbie has his glasses on in this one, folks, which is me with Ingrid Oliver, who plays Osgood in Doctor Who. So I asked her if we could have that, and then, you know, there's a normal one, which Robbie has. Again, I'll put on at the end, and then I said, can I have one wherever I'm hugging you? So I was hugging her, and then whenever I finished, she went, oh my god, you were so gentle. I was like, well, I have to be. I didn't want to grab her. She's like, I'll just do a light hug, you know. But I really like that one, and Robbie's silly face. And if I want to, I can just crop him out of it, which is even better. That's why I like to get distance. Right, so this one, okay. I'll tell you the story about this, but I can't tell you what happened in that until I get to a certain photo, okay? You'll understand why, because I want to keep it a surprise. So Ray Park was 30 odd minutes late to his photo shoot. Now at this time on Friday, I had Tom Baker, who was only there one day. So I lined up inside with Karen, and we were waiting to meet Ray Park, and I was standing there waiting, and I was like, they're going, is there any, do we have eyes on Ray Park? Where is Ray Park? And people are going, if anyone here has Tom Baker, you need to go now. So I had to go from A, which is here, and then I had to go through there, through the autograph place, all the way around to where, oh, G, it was the green screen thing, so I had to go all the way over there. And then by the time I came back, then he'd gone. So I was like, well, what happens? And it's like, well, you'll have to get your photo moved till, I then go down to the sales desk, and they said you'll have to get your photo moved to the next day. So Saturday seemed to me most logical. Thank God it was, because Sunday was just and I would have been even more stressed then. So that she wrote me a note, and then on the Saturday whenever I went up, I had to explain to them that I had already queued up to meet Ray Park, but because of the thing with Tom Baker and him being late, that I had to wait for him. So then again I'm waiting for Ray Park, and again he's late, and then something happens which I'll talk about in a minute, and then so then I get my photo, and then I was like, right, I was going to get his autograph, but because his queue was long, he was taking his time with people, which is great, that's fine, but because he was running late for things, it kind of put me off. That this has soured me with him, that I didn't want to go and meet him again. He's a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but because he was late, he could have left there a bit earlier to do what he needed to do and then come over. But being half an hour late for a photo shoot has a knock-on effect, because you're then delaying other people because you're doing that. Very much like Aidan Turner on the Sunday, Karen was going to meet him, and he was late, and he wasn't even in the building by the time she was queuing up. So that's my photo with Ray Park, which is, I've always wanted to get a pro photo with him. I don't have an autograph with him, but live and learn. So if you want to get Ray Park, either be there early in the morning or don't have anything else to do for the rest of the day, because you honestly won't get anything else done. But it is what it is. I met Darth Maul. I wish I could be a bit more happier about it, but there was a reason why I was even more happier about it whenever I was queuing up to meet him, which I'll get on to. So the last photo shoot of the day, that was 3 o'clock, this was 6:15. This was the late edition for Simon and I, which is Simon and I with Colin Baker. Again, we have a normal one, but then we wanted to add this one on, just add another doctor on. So far we've done 4, 8, 6. Keeping score. Okay, so next up, my first photo of the day was with a certain person called Matt Smith. I don't know if you've heard of him. He played somebody called The Doctor in, I think it was All Creatures Great and Small or something, I don't know. But yeah, so I got number 4 for Matt Smith, which was an absolute godsend, which I'll explain in a minute. So again, I got my photograph, autograph, print. That for some reason they put a hole punch, like a bullet hole over there instead of there, because they were in such a rush, which I'll get on to in a sec. So I got my photograph with Matt Smith, which is here. And I think it was Dave who said, why does it look like he's playing rock, paper, scissors with everyone? I'm just going, hey, look! But yeah, just really, really nice guy. Doesn't do handshakes, fist bump, but really, really nice guy, and a very genuine man as well. I was so busy during the day that I had to try and get his autograph. I planned to get his autograph between about 2:30 and 4, but then I forgot that he had a photo shoot, so I had to leave it till the end of the day. I missed a photo with Ali something or other for iZombie, who plays Peyton in iZombie. I missed my photo with her because basically I had to go and queue up with the Diamond Pass people in order to get my autograph. They were only calling certain numbers, so whenever we're queuing up and he was coming back, she was calling 0 to 10. With me having number 4 meant I was in the queue, I was ready to go, because apparently they didn't get all the Diamond Pass people done. They only got up to something like 50 or 60, something like that, and there's going to be triple digits of that, you know, 200, 300 or whatever. So unfortunately it was very rushed, but I was able to say thank you for doing this, give him another fist bump, wish him well, and say thank you, you know, all that kind of thing. So I got this signed, which was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. The reason why I got this one, because obviously London related. I'm not bothered that it wasn't personalised, because I'm going to send it off to get graded. Now I know there's flaws in it, but because I have the Benedict Cumberbatch one, this will be to commemorate the event, really. So once I send that off, it'll be in a slab, and I'll have that always to look back on and think that was 2017, this was 2018, and look at it that way as well. Speaking of Matt Smith, I met his companion, Fartface himself, Arthur Darvill, who just seemed to be, you know, it's like, why can't you smile? You know, like, fair enough, I don't smile that great, but at least I don't go like, in the photos. That better be a bloody thumbnail of this video, I'll tell you what. But yeah, just nice guy. Again, because I was Diamond Pass for Matt Smith, I got him and then I ran over to Arthur Darvill, I think Simon was with me for Arthur. Some of the things just go out of your mind because you'll run around doing this, that and the other. So I got him knocked off because they all have afternoon shoots, but I wanted to try and limit the amount of things that I had to do in the afternoon and try and kind of ease up a bit and kind of relax. God, how wrong I was. But then, yeah, so I got him knocked off. Another one that I got done was Christopher Eccleston, who is the 9th Doctor, also in Thor the Dark World as well. Is he in Harry Potter? People are like screaming, no, he's not, or yes, he is. I honestly can't remember if he is in Harry Potter or not. I have a funny feeling he is, but maybe I'm getting confused. I'm sorry. But yeah, nice guy to meet. Put his hand out, shake your hand. Just nice guy. This is the first time he's been at a convention, so it was nice to actually get him knocked off. Now you can see why Simon and I were meeting some of the older Doctors, such as we did with Peter Davison, who plays the 5th Doctor. And one thing I love about our Simon's photos and my photos is that we're always on the same side. I always go up first and Simon goes up second, but it always ends up that we're on the same side, you know, that I'm on, you know, I'm on his right, he's on his left. That's right, yeah. Or whatever. I'm looking at it this way, so I'm getting confused. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with that one. So, to do with this announcement that happened in Ray Park's, here's my Matt Smith print, by the way. Yeah, so to do with this announcement that happened while I was queuing to meet Ray Park was that I just heard, ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement to make, and I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? Is somebody not turned up, or is it going to run late? Is it going to run, you know, or closing early or what? Going to, like, we have a world record appearing tomorrow, and we will have, I think it was 8 or 9 Doctors in the same building. David Tennant is coming on Sunday, and I could have just, you know, I was standing there in the queue waiting to meet Ray Park, trying to then buy a ticket on my phone, trying to then message, you know, because then Gemma is trying to phone me to go, oh my God, David Tennant, and I'm, you know, blocking her call because I'm trying to buy this and I have to put my phone away because Ray Park's like here. So then I ran out, and then we're all trying to get our stuff. I eventually get a Diamond Pass, which looks like this. Because he's late, they only just write it on. So I didn't get a print because, again, he was late added on. They should have given you a cup instead, but just saying. Or partial refund, no photo. This has always been the guy that I have wanted to meet. This has been my holy grail. This has been the person that I've always wanted to be announced for a convention. I've wanted him announced for a convention with a bit more bloody notice, you know, rather than giving me less than a couple of hours at the convention to go around and try and get something to sign, which is impossible whenever people don't have Doctor Who stuff with you. You know, they have Doctor Who stuff, but they don't have stuff that I want. I want, like, I could have bought this one, the David Tennant one, and the other one, the Peter Capaldi one. I could have bought all 3 of them, and I didn't. But then I could have bought all 3 of them and only brought the Matt Smith one with, because why would I have brought Tennant with me? Because he's not going to be there. So I had to walk around and try and find something to buy. Plus, first of all, we all were standing there. I've never seen a circle of people on their phones pressing refresh so much. Again, I've hit F5 more times than Brock Lesnar has this year. Hey! But yeah, we were all standing around trying to get tickets. If we, like, I'd got my Diamond Pass, I was still trying to get tickets for, like, Simon or Robbie. Karen eventually got hers. Gemma and David already had theirs. Simon eventually got his, and Robbie was late to the party. We went to join the sales desk, and basically they were doing the same things we were. It was coming up unavailable, but they had to add more to it. So once they added more to it, then then you're able to refresh and do that kind of thing. So I eventually found something to sign. I bought an 8x10, I bought 3 comics, and I bought 2 prints. The reason why I bought 2 prints was I was undecided by both of them, and by the time I got back to the hotel, I then said, right, that's the one I'm going to get done. So this is what I got signed, which is this. So it says, to Chris, David Tennant, and Alan Z. Apologies if I get a bit emotional about talking about this, but this is who I've always wanted to meet, head and shoulders about anyone else. It doesn't matter to me if somebody huge was announced, like a Patrick Stewart or a Bruce Willis. I'm looking around, or Sylvester Stallone. That's good. I'll get a photo with him. I don't need an autograph. But with David Tennant, I wanted to get an autograph. I had to get an autograph. I said to him how much the interaction between me and him meant to me, that he was the reason and is the reason why I started watching Doctor Who. He is my doctor, very much like with Simon. He met Matt Smith, his doctor, the pair of us, and met our doctors on the same day in the same building. You know, I was lucky enough to be in front of Simon, and, you know, while we were queuing up to meet Matt Smith, and kind of see the emotions that he was going through. I didn't get that experience with the other guys, with Tennant, because that queue was a complete and utter cluster of a mess of a horrible sweaty place that nobody had a clue what they were doing. But at the end of the day, I knew that I would get my photo. We would all get our photos, but it's just a case of diamond pass people go in, but they needed to have better control. And that's the thing that showmasters need to do, is that they need to have one person of authority to lead the line and tell people what to do, and not just kind of shut down and kind of people. I was standing over here with a girl, Debbie I think her name was, who was cosplaying as the 13th Doctor, and she had no clue what she was doing, and she was getting really hot and flustered, so I brought my fan out and let her use the fan. And then we were told from here to go over there, and then they told us to go back over, and it's like, what? No. You told us to stay here, and then we joined back the queue. So anyway, so I was saying to him, Mr. Tennant, that how much it meant to me, and I thanked him for doing it. I said to him that the only downside was that my father wasn't alive to see that I finally got to meet the man that I wanted to meet for so long, because he knew that I've always wanted to meet him. I don't know whether he was the one who maybe had a word with Tennant, or did a nearly headless Nick and kind of persuaded Tennant to do it. And then for a quiet life, you never know. But he couldn't have been nicer. They say never met your heroes. Well, balls to that, because if you met David Tennant, then you know you've met your hero. So that's my photo with him, which I'm absolutely ecstatic with, because we have the TARDIS behind us. He actually commented on I'm actually wearing a Doctor Who t-shirt today. The reason why I didn't wear this t-shirt is because it was meant to be predicted heat waves over there, and it was bloody raining. If I'd known that, I would have brought this. Censored myself there. So yeah, that's my photo, which I don't think it's sunk in yet that I got to meet David Tennant. I think because you're processing so much, you know, through the weekend, it was just weird to meet him. Because Peter Davison and David Tennant were at the same time. We were told if we had David Tennant to go to Peter Davison first, so we went and got Peter Davison done, and then went to David Tennant. Once I had David Tennant done, then I had to make like a beeline for James Caan, who had a morning shoot, which he kept cancelling every single day. And that's James Caan there. I met him because of Las Vegas. My sister, and you probably know him as Buddy's dad in Elf. His dad in New York, not the one in North Pole. Nice enough guy to meet, but just thanked him for coming. But I loved his portrayal of Ed DeLine, obviously The Godfather as well. But Ed DeLine in Las Vegas was the reason why I met him. So this next photo, I met with my girlfriend Karen. Yes, my girlfriend Karen, which is here, which is Rose McIver, who plays, oh frig, what's her name? The main character in iZombie. Sorry, I've just drawn a blank on her name, and I don't know why. I really can't think of what her name is. I really can't. I think it's just the David Tennant stuff going on in my head now. Well, anyway, if you know her name, leave the comments down below, and you might get a shout out in the next video, which will probably not be done until next year, or something. Yeah, so our original plan was to meet James Caan together, but because Karen had to go from A for James Caan, B Arthur Darvill, C Richard Wilson, D Matt Smith, if memory serves. So yeah, so we decided to get that done together and get that one done together, which is just me hugging Rose and Karen looking on and discuss. She didn't know if she could do it, and I was just like, oh, trust me, you've got plenty of dirty looks in you. And that's how it came out, so I'm happy how that came out, and so was Karen. And the last one was Ravi, Rahul, something or other from iZombie as well. Liv, there we go, Liv, that's the name. I can remember his name, but not the main one. So, yeah, I met Ravi from iZombie. Nice guy, English. He was sitting on the floor and he was walking past, and I went like that, and he was like, seemed a nice guy. And that's my photo with Ali, right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's the John Cena version, you can't really see it. Oh, right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. It's only taken me half an hour to show you this stuff, but because, you know, like I say, I limited myself to autographs, you know, like David, with Matt Smith being announced kind of a week before, I was real rushed to try and get that and get it here from England. You know, I should have got it sent to Karen, but stupidly I didn't. And got it sent here, arrived in time, got it done. I was looking around. I have a pop vinyl there, which I could have got Tennant to sign with him wearing my favourite suit of his, which is the blue one. But again, I couldn't. I did meet a couple other people, such as Tom Von Lawler, who plays Ebony Maw in Infinity War. I got some autographs for my friend Rory. Hi Rory, if you're watching. And I did also meet Jason Momoa very, very briefly. It was very... that was it, because Karen was meeting him to get her Funko Pop sign, which he signs the window and the top of. So basically getting 2 autographs for the price of 1. So well done, Jason Momoa. I think it's maybe because it was very rushed, because he was there Saturday, Sunday, and they announced him for the Friday. And we thought we might as well try and get his autograph pinned off on the Friday. Luckily enough, we did get that. I always enjoy this time of year, because I get to see all my friends in the same place at the same time. It's not a case of one of us is missing or we're only there certain days. We're all there together. With Heroes and Villains, I was with Simon. In Heroes and Villains on the Saturday, I was only there with Karen. On the Sunday, I was there with Simon, Karen, Dave and Gemma. But I was with Karen for the majority of it, because everyone had other things to do. And Robbie was there very briefly on the Saturday, but like, I mean fleetingly, like we had our Hartley Sawyer photo together and that was it. But it's weird whenever you think that in this weekend I've met 8 doctors. If Sylvester McCoy was there, we would have had the perfect run. We would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We would have met all the existing male doctors. So yeah, it's quite scary whenever you think of that you've kind of done that. You've done that in a weekend, you know. And it was funny because Gemma was saying that David Tennant would never do a Showmasters event, and then a couple of hours later that happened. I was like, "That's you, you're Scud." But I just, whenever that happened, I couldn't have, you know, it didn't seem real. I really wished that I was round the guys whenever that had happened, to see everyone's expression. If I had Ray Park's photograph done on the Friday like I was meant to, I would have done that. So thanks Ray Park for messing that up. Sith life and all that. But no, I really love this time of year because everyone gets to come together. It's nice now that I get to spend it with Karen as well as all my friends. But at the same time, it's sad because you know, like the guys are all going to see each other on Wheels. I'll not be there for Wheels because it's a Christmas time and I can't get time off in December, even though it's a weekend. Plus the fact that then I need to spend money for flights and money for a hotel, which then adds up, you know. So it may be this time next year before I see everyone again. If I hadn't done Heroes and Villains, it would have been a year. It was 3 years ago that Dave and Simon, Anna, James and I had met. So it was celebrating like 3 years of friendship, which is spooky to think. But it's just wonderful to spend time with these people who we all have different interests, but at the same time we all like the same kind of stuff. You know, we all would watch Doctor Who, some of us more than others. You know, like I think this has kind of reinvigorated a lot of people's love for Doctor Who because of meeting the Doctors and maybe exploring classic episodes that they may have not, maybe some people have never watched the Colin Baker episode, but because they wanted to meet him to mark that off, then they may watch that. So it's just wonderful to spend, like, I can't wish for a better group of friends and to experience it with a wonderful person, and Karen's my girlfriend. It's even nicer because you're experiencing that highs and lows, like hearing him getting announced and then the frustration of trying to buy that diamond pass and then eventually getting it and then jumping up and down, but at the same time being brought back down because I got mine sorted but other people hadn't got theirs sorted. So at the same time I was happy for me, but I wanted to be happy for my friends as well, and you put them before you put yourself first, you know. So it just, there's times wherever I wish that I spent more time with Dave and Gemma, but one of us is here and one of us is there, and you know, whenever you've got a photo shoot, that's money you've paid for. It's different if you're standing in a line and, you know, like you're queuing for an autograph, but again, I don't think they had many autographs to get, and if they were queuing for an autograph, then I had to go somewhere and be somewhere else. But it was just, it's just nice to spend time with them and to have a laugh about things, and you know, like to have, you know, different catchphrases, you know, like ouch and all this kind of thing, or whether you're spilling water in your room whenever you're knackered on a Sunday, or you know, whether you go to a burger place and they don't have burgers or they don't have chips or whatever. But it's just nice to have that bond with them. And Mike has always said that sometimes the closest people, sometimes those closest to you live the furthest away, which is, it's so true. For my life, it is so true, you know, because I live in this little island and they all live over here, and Mike lives all the way over here. So it just, it's lovely to see them, but at the same time you wish that the days didn't go in as quickly as they did. And as Andy from The Office always said, you really wish that you knew whenever you were in the good old days. So whenever you left them, you knew you were in them. And at that convention, you know you're in those good days, because even though you're stressed, and even though sometimes people will snap at other people, sorry Robbie, and because things start getting to you, at the end of the day, it's part of the convention. Is if things don't go your way, you start getting stressed and you start to worry, what if this doesn't happen, what if that doesn't happen? Because if I had that number for Matt Smith rather than the number 4 that I had, I probably wouldn't have got his autograph. That's the way I look at it. And I'm sad that people didn't get their autograph, but at the same time I'm happy that I got my autograph and Simon got his autograph and experience with his doctor as I did with my doctor. So yeah, so that truly was the con of the Doctor. Bread and water probably for the next like 4 years after the amount of money I spent. But whenever you look back, would I do it again? Of course I would, because there was no way. If I didn't meet Matt Smith, if I didn't meet Matt, you know, you have to meet those people. Some of these people are once in a lifetime. That is a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. With the majority of these bigger names, the likes of Colin Baker and Peter Davison, I'm sure I'll see them somewhere down the line as well. And David Bradley I met last year with Simon. So you have to seize the opportunity while it's there, because you don't know whenever it's going to happen again. So what does London Film Comic Con 2019 have in store? Whether we get Jodie Whittaker and some of her companions, that would be nice. But yeah, I've rambled long enough. I'll put some photos at the end from the weekend. But thank you as always for watching, and until next time.
Through time, as old as forever, but fast in his prime. I saw his blue spaceship materialize. He looked out and said to me, run for your life. I don't know why I never thought to ask him for his name, but I really don't think he'd have told me the truth anyway. But that's okay, it's completely terrifying, but it's so exciting. He said I was brilliant and I could change the world. So many places I've been, there's so much more to see. We got galaxies and planets and moons, and an awful lot of running to do. Full-time companion, he gave me a key and a phone with a signal in every galaxy. As we fell through the vortex, I felt so free. Please don't let this danger just be another dream, 'cause my life before you was unreasonably mundane. Never been happier, although we face death every day. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's completely terrifying, but it's so exciting. He said I was brilliant and I could change the world. So many places I've been, there's so much more to see. We got galaxies and planets and moons, and an awful lot of running to do. Circuit if you just try hot wiring the fragment links and superseding the binary. It's completely terrifying, but it's so exciting. He said I was brilliant and I could change the world. So many places I've been, there's so much more to see. We got galaxies and planets and moons, and an awful lot of running to do.